Society is divided. We are moving into an era where people are beginning to understand the dynamics of how money is just an illusion. All fiat currency is based upon believing it has some sort of value, yet has zero backing such as a gold standard. Yet there are also those who are stuck in a mode where they believe money is the key to life. Money isn't the key to life, survival is the key to life. It all depends on how we want to survive. Do we want to constantly struggle, or do we want to create a sustainable society that has abundance? For some reason at this point in history we still let the super rich determine the motivating factors of governance, especially in Western society. Many see the rich as purveyors of industry, but for the most part the majority of rich people have inherited their finances from various family members and really don't contribute much to society as a whole. Those in charge of society, the super rich, place themselves above us. They look down upon us as we struggle and offer barely any assistance. They gain while we crawl to survive. Money isn't everything in life. Love and empathy hold way more weight down here at the bottom, as many of us can already see. People need to understand that we do not have to struggle if we don't want to. We only struggle because too many surrender to fear of progress. Times are changing. Technology is moving us into a realm in which we have seen so many people unable to comprehend the miracles that modern science can create. One reflection on how technology is more developed than people realize is the mistrust of the COVID-19 vaccine. Research has been going on for decades regarding RNA-type viruses, but it wasn't until the 21st century that we as a species could use artificial intelligence to help guide us on creating something quickly. Networks upon networks linked together, AI combining its resources to come up with the best antidote for a virus killing humans. It's pure genius. With such quick results, people without knowledge of how quickly technology is moving forward easily can create conspiracy theories based off of fear and bias. And they did, and they still do. The old adage of people fear what they do not understand definitely emulates our world's current situation. Many people have been trained to not adapt to how fast things are changing around us. The schooling older generations have been through never gave people the tools to deal with such a fast-paced society. While science and technology try to move us forward as a civilization, there are so many people clutching onto old beliefs and old systems, which creates disharmony. The control by the media and by corporations comes right inside all of our living rooms daily. With the push to further research and development by using artificial intelligence, we are at a pinnacle within the current industrial age. With the technology we currently have, we could easily let computers adjust production of all goods to nullify all global afflictions of poverty, yet we don't. Capitalism needs competition, and the heartlessness of that system will create a horrific scenario once AI-driven automation reaches 50%. Obsolete workers are obsolete under the capitalist model. There is no empathy or compassion. There is only the driving force of the markets to reflect the will of the top 1%. This needs to change. We need to move into a compassionate system that helps all. How can we as a people move forward? Firstly, we need to understand where we are technologically, and we need to use the technology to help everyone on this planet live a sustainable life. It has been stated on numerous occasions that the principal driving force for human achievement is working for the reward of monetary gain. The argument is a fallacy and isn't true. Even most communist countries use various forms of capitalist systems in their economic frame sets, and yet we have only a portion of people achieving a better life. Time and time again we've heard the argument, without money there is no motivation or incentive to push humanity forward. Money being a motivator for human participation, for human achievement is flawed. The prime motivating factor of humanity is the survival of our species. It is inherent, it is in our genetic code, and it is in our very core ideology that we must try our damnedest to survive by nearly any means necessary. Our ancient ancestors constantly invented new ways of surviving, new tools for hunting without being motivated by money. They had a drive to survive in the harshest environments, and they prevailed because of their achievements, not because they got paid for hunting and gathering. The most incredible inventions in human history were not driven by greed, but by survival and war. The considerations behind creating one of the most destructive forces on the planet, the atomic bomb, was to end World War II more swiftly. The end result of using the bomb was 2 destroyed Japanese cities, hundreds of thousands of people dead, and an arms race between the East and West which resulted in humanity reaching for the stars. Money is actually repressing humanity, inhibiting exploration, inhibiting the insurance of the survival of our species. We have a surplus of food. Many poor people could easily be fed but are neglected because they don't have the right to eat because they didn't earn it. It's an enslaved mindset. From the point of time when humanity started to walk upright, our survival has instinctively been territorial. We've created borders, territories, and countries to ensure various methods of segregationist survival. Even though humans are social creatures, who need love and affection, we still attune ourselves to our primal nature of territorial ownership. With all of humanity's great technological achievements, we need to stop thinking that survival of our species is only earthbound, since technically we are all currently stuck on this rock called Earth. We, as a species, need to move off planet to ensure our survival since we have the technological means to do so. We are coded for survival, we are coded to explore our surroundings. To stay stationary on a rock which may eventually endure an extinction level event for humanity when we have the technological means to prevent our extinction goes against everything in our fiber of being. Resource-based economy, a holistic approach to humanity's survival. A resource-based economy, RBE, is an economy that runs off of the current finite resources in our surroundings to ensure human sustainability that has no use of money, no use of barter or trade. Part of the structuring of a RBE would be to ensure humanity has developed awareness and consciousness that we are all one family and that we are all equal no matter what race, culture or religion we are. Technology and science are used to their fullest measure to develop and manage the planet's resources to provide abundance for everyone without stripping the planet bare. In a RBE there is no state or government entity that owns Earth's resources, all resources are distributed and shared on a planetary level. Some RBE advocates have suggested the need to rebuild new cities completely from the ground up, but that would be a blatant misuse of resources. We already have cities that we occupy. People have homes that they are attached to. It would take fewer resources to adapt already existing cities to fit the needs of the people. We must first recognize that we live on a planet with finite resources, and we will eventually run the risk of having a resource shortfall, especially with the population explosions predicted for the near future. If there is a resource shortfall, it would be detrimental to our species as a whole. We must eventually move away from extracting resources such as ore and minerals from Earth, and utilize our technology to acquire the mass amounts of infinite resources that can be attained only in outer space. Setting up off-world colonies, having robotic harvesters in the asteroid belt, mining missions to dead planets and even instituting food production off-world would greatly improve humanity's chances at survival. Currently, humanity is in despair. We have abundance shortfalls because corporations and governments rely on outdated systems that are thousands of years old. Poverty, homelessness and starvation only exist because we allow them to exist. Degradation of human life only exists because we allow it to exist. Eventually, humanity will come to a point, and we're close to that point, where it will have to make a decision. Ensure the survival of our species and accept that we are a global community or continue down the path of greed and selfishness, initiating an ultimate slow decay and extinction of the human race. Automation is on the rise, and it will continue to become more prevalent. As unemployment rises because of automated servants, workers and artificial intelligence taking over human labor and thinking, how will our future progeny pay bills under the current economic model? Understand that Moore's law is in effect. Computing power tends to double itself every 2 years. Eventually, computers, machines, robots and artificial intelligence will be in every occupation. They will learn to fix themselves, they will learn to troubleshoot, and do anything a human would be able to do in any situation eventually. What then? We need a new economic model that would be symbiotic with our technology. The current capitalist economic model would only create a complete dystopian atmosphere for nearly every human on the planet. Why not embrace an economic model that would allow all humans who wish to participate in it, voluntarily, to flourish? The only holistic approach that can be identified right now that would secure humanity's future would be to embrace a RBE. Continuing on our careless capitalist corpocracy will ensure that humanity eventually becomes a forgotten remnant of the universe we occupy. No one enjoys belonging to a scarcity-based economic system, unless they're at the top of the food chain. Scarcity is an illusion.